And we're back. And it's still lagging. That did not help at all. I can see it lagging on my own screen. This is ridiculous. What do I do? No! Ah! I don't, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It's not lagging anymore. Oh, thank God. It's finally fixed. Oh, this has been the worst night ever. This has been the worst night of streaming ever. I have never had this many problems trying to stream ever. Never once. Never once. All right. Okay. Get the music back on. Music is on. It's time, everyone, for backup plan number D. Number Z. Let's go! I'm good at this game, though. I don't know how fun this is gonna be to watch. And it's lagging horribly. Not the stream. I don't know about the stream lagging, but I know that it's lagging on my computer, which makes this nigh unplayable. Okay, that didn't work. I give up. I've been defeated. Oh. I don't even want to try. I'm so tired, chat. We've been at it for 3 hours. I don't. We've only got one option left. And I really don't really want to draw right now. Almost 3 hours, yeah. It'll be 3 hours and 12 minutes. Oh, wait, no, it won't. I didn't start at 5. I started at 6. It'll be 2 hours and 12 minutes. My bad, AJ. I ate all your Wi-Fi. I was hungry. Thank you for the 2. I guess we need a new call, don't we? You know what? I'm getting money. I'm getting paid. And so long as I'm getting paid, I can get through this. Never give up, never back down. Never give up, never back down. Let me go get my tablet. Guys, we can't play the Wi-Fi Dino game if I don't have any Wi-Fi. If I turn off my Wi-Fi, the stream stops. A good idea, though. No more games. Never give up, never give in. Never give up, never give in. Oh, please. Please, please. You can play it with Wi-Fi? Okay, that sounds sad. That sounds like a scam. I don't believe you. I would never believe such a lie. Oh great, a pasta might offer this monetary sacrifice. Thank you, Wee Wee Werewolf with the 2. Is this what they mean by infinite games but no games? Probably, yeah. But I can't... Most of the... Like, I can barely run. Like, even Hollow Knight, when I'm playing it, sometimes lag. Which is a huge shame. Because it would have been really fun to play Hollow Knight on stream. It would have been really fun to play Silk Song on stream, because Silk Song I'm good enough at that I can speedrun that one competently enough. I wonder where my glove went. Okay. Alright. We got Ibis paint. We got it up. It's time. It's time for a weird one. I guess we'll work on video stuff. Where's my glove? Where did I put it? I can't find it! No! Where'd it go? Please. This would have been so funny and so peak if only I had my glove so I could just start drawing. Where is it? There it is. I have it. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry on stream today. I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna take my drawers off. I'm just gonna show my entire rear end to the entire world because I'm so upset right now. Okay. Ah! Thank you to Drake with the I'm in hell. I'm in hell. I'm in hell. I'm in hell. Okay, we did it. We're in the. Okay, so I'm so tired. Here's the plan. So we're gonna be working on the swap AU right now, and I decided to do something very strange and bizarre, as you might be able to tell by the 2 characters I have decided to switch around. And am I going to explain my reasoning? I don't know. I will in the video. I don't know if I have the ability to explain my thought process behind this live on air. Yes, Manticore Adam. Yes. And I'm out of water. I'm out of water. You're choking. I'll be right back. I need to go get some water. Hi, I'm back. We're so back, chat. We are so. I'm using my display capture instead of the good one. Let me change this. Is I don't want you seeing every picture that comes up whenever I pull something up. Let's see. Oh, please. Add window paint. Yes, we've done it, and now it's on top of everything. I'm this close to. I'm this close to jumping off a bridge. Okay, we've done it. We're here. We're live. We're doing it. Yippee.
So how is everyone's day?
Is the swap because both Adam and Angel are diametrically opposed in the OG version, where Adam is extremely egotistical and Angel is extremely self-loathing and not bigoted? Diametrically opposed. Foes. No. No, the reason is because the reason came from me thinking I need to swap Valentino, this guy with the hat. I need to swap this guy, someone, but I don't know who's in the cast. Who in the cast would rape? Who in the cast? Oh, she doesn't have horns. Would Charlie rape? No, Charlie wouldn't rape. Would Vaggie rape? No, Vaggie wouldn't rape. You know who would rape? Lucifer rape? Not this version. You know who would? You know who was sent to have raped before? Ding 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 ding! Lilith! There is only one other person in the cast I believe has the capacity to rape, and it's Lilith. And it's because in the original she was said to have raped this handsome little man right here to create monsters. So someone help me. Oh, who do we want to start on? Who do we want? Who? Which one? Which one we draw first? Beth. Adam. Adam was the first one I saw. We're starting there. Oh no. Don't tell me I have art block after all this. Come on. My lines are shaking. My hands are literally shaking right now. I've had so many technical difficulties today that my hands are shaking. What would Adam's stage name be? Probably Dickmaster. Obviously. You don't have a chin. I can't make you too hot. It is Canon Adam, after all, not my handsome boy. Yo, just arrived. What did I miss? Probably me just making rape jokes. Yeah, how's it feel, chat, to see the canon person? Apple bottom? No, that's terrible. That makes me feel gross. That's actually a pretty darn good one. Goodness, my throat is so full of pre-cry. This is quite embarrassing. Okay. So,
How is everyone's day?
which way do his horns go? They go out. Oh, do I have to give him the with the fur? Okay. Alright. I wasn't actually thinking of making him a full-on prostitute. I was thinking of going for a different type, a different flavor of a. I was thinking of going for a different flavor of rape than the traditional prostitute that we normally go with. I was thinking of going with a toy. This is a horrible conversation. Let's stop. This is a horrible conversation. What's your favorite and least favorite Undertale AU? Well, my favorite Undertale AU, and this might sound a tad silly. It was the dream one, the one with that had dream in it, and the nightmare specifically. That one. Was it just called Dream Swap? Because I can't remember. No, Dream Tale. Yeah. Were you about to say Trafficker? I was not. Thank you for the two. I said toy is what I said. I'm confused. Charlie is still Charlie. Are Lilith and Lou still Charlie's parents? Yes, they are, and we will justify that when I get to my script. Good. I got my dog groomed and spent almost $80 on anti-flea medication. Holy crap, that's insane! That is so much money. Seems like it would be easier to drown the fleas by killing the dog. That's a horrible thing to say. I'm so sorry. I hope your dog is okay. I'm sure he's adorable. Send me pictures. I want to see the dog. What the phrase? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I'm so sorry. I hope the dog is okay. I'm so sorry. Do you have any chickens or roosters besides the one you mentioned in your Osmodius redesign? Well, I used to. I used to live in a house that had chickens, but I moved away. I think we had 15 chickens. Now that I live with my aunt instead of
back at home in the place that I can't actually say the name of because I'll dox myself. If I lived back at my grandparents' house, I would have 15 chickens. Now that I'm living here, we have two. Just two little girls, a golden one and a black one. Want someone to make a meme of that? Just a picture of a dog with a poorly photoshopped watercraft. I'm so sorry I put that image in everyone's head. I'm so sorry. That was so mean. Yeah, two hens. That's what they're called. Hens. What's your favorite version of Papyrus or Gaster? Papyrus. I maybe it's basic, but my favorite Papyrus is always going to be the original one. I feel like he gets mischaracterized a lot in other AUs. You know, because everybody either makes him like a little baby, like a full on child in an adult's mind or body, or they make him like a sex demon, and I don't like either of those ones. Oh, I forgot to say my least favorite Undertale AU. I think my least favorite one would probably be any of the ones where Papyrus diddles Sans. I really don't like those ones. I believe there was a version of Underfell specifically where Papyrus was very rapey. That was a bad one. Oh my goodness, I've just been hit with a memory. A horrible, horrible memory. I remember when YouTube had less good restrictions about adult content, I stumbled across a comic dub of this comic where Underfell Sans got kidnapped and diddled by the Papyrus from Underswamp. But he was also being diddled by Underfell, and he escaped. He escaped from the kidnapping Underswamp rapey Papyrus. But then he missed him and went back, and I never found out what happened after that. And that was how I figured out how sex worked. Because I didn't know what sex was at the time. I was really little, so I didn't know what was going on. I saw that exact same one. I'm so sorry to have brought it up. It's just horrible. You're gonna stay bald up there. You're gonna be like a Muslim. You're gonna get your little head cover, so I don't have to draw your hair. It'll be easier for me. Yeah. We'll have holes for the ears. This beautiful woman of Islam. Yes. Gorgeous hijab. I need to stop. What am I saying? I'm gonna say something bad if I keep straight of thought. Trauma dumping. What channel should I post pics of my dog for you to see? Just chat. Either of the chat 1 or 2s. Either one of those will work just fine. What the hell is going on today? I've been going through technical difficulties for like 2 hours. So you're seeing me after frustration for 2 hours. And me after frustration for 2 hours is my true, pure, unfiltered self. Look at me and marvel, for I am gorgeous. I hate this. It looks weird. Why does it look weird? What's wrong with it? Okay. A ball. Put the ash smoky. Yeah, that looks bad. Okay. Got the eyes. Yeah, he's mysterious. He's mysterious and cool. Look at that man. More opportunities to make Adam and Charlie kiss. As the Lord intended. As I intended. I am the Lord in the situation. Where did the music go? It's still playing. It should still be playing. Yeah, it's still on. It's just on a quieter track. When will the next trailer of Heck of a Boss, come out? When do you do Barbie Wire? I don't know, but, I actually did, finish Crimson, Moxie's dad, yesterday, I think. And, his video will be the next Heck of a Boss one to come out. After that, I will probably do Barbie, unless, Glitzy Glamva get voted in first. You look weird. Why? Why do you look weird? Okay. That's better. This looks weird here, so maybe we'll put in the boots with the fur, except that the fur is on his face and not on boots at all. Yeah, that's better. Thank you, Adrian, with the 5. Hey, AJ, was Zeus a tulpa, like, ball, or was Asmodeus mistaken to be, Zeus? I don't know what the word tulpa means, but if you mean deity, yes. Have you seen any of the recent shorts from Hell of a Boss? I know the most recent one was Stolas and Moxie. I have seen most of them. There are a couple that I chose not to watch, like specifically the Chaz one comes to mind because I hate Chaz. I think he's a useless character, and he's not funny, and he's ugly, and I hate him. But most of the others I've seen, I think the majority of them are bad. I remember there was like 1 or 2 that I liked, but I can't remember which ones. Clearly they weren't good enough to be memorable. But they were enough that I didn't hate watching them. I really don't understand why anyone likes Chaz. I don't understand why the writers like Chaz. You know what Chaz is? Chaz is stolen drip. Chaz is trying to be Adam from Spin Hotel, but just doing everything bad. Like, everything bad. Everything that was endearing about Adam, he does it the same way, except bad. And you know, Adam's annoying traits I don't think ever stuck around long enough to really be annoying, except for other than in his introduction, when I was still getting used to him, figuring him out. Okay. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Now he's Asian. Alright. Okay. Teeth. Beak. Yeah. You look too genuine. You need to be... No. Why do you look young and hopeful? You were not young and hopeful. You were an old silver fox whose life has been nothing but misery. How do I make you look like that? No, you still look too genuine. Let's move that out of the way for a little bit. Smile needs to be bigger. Yeah, there we go. Now you look like yourself. You just also look like a bad version of yourself, though. A tulpa is exactly how you do your gods. If enough people believe in something, it comes into existence. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I guess he would be a tulpa then. Alright. But it's all wrong and nothing is right. And nothing is good and lovely in this world. Except for me, maybe, sometimes, on weekdays and bank holidays. Oh, do we want to talk about the Amazing Digital Circus fandom? The Amazing Digital Fandom, I guess we could call it. Yeah, that's crazy, right? I remember somebody after I made my review about the finale, somebody asked me to go over the drama with the fandom, and you know, I don't think I have enough to add to make an entire video. I think my thoughts on that pretty much sum up to this is crazy, guys. Ain't it crazy? Ain't it crazy and silly? Crazy and silly? Man, these people are terminally online. Thank you, Cycrophene with the 5. We have hit the we have hit the goal. You have earned another goal. My dog is in the Discord for your viewing pleasure. Her name is Roxy. Roxy's a great name for a dog. Let me go look at that real quick. Honestly, I think people talk continuously about the fandom is boring. It's pretty easy to avoid. I think I would agree. I think the only hot take about the fandom is that Goose kind of brought it on herself by constantly talking to them. That was a bad idea. When you have a project that hits 10 million views, you can't go on Tumblr and just talk to random people. That's a really bad idea. That's a way to get you very parasocial. I think it was also a really stupid move when she apologized to the fandom when people got angry. When she said that Pomni and Jax are the main characters. Anybody who's angry about Pomni and Jax being the main characters is kind of a retard. Pardon my French. The show was always about them. Honestly, I think the people that are like up in arms about there being too much Jax in the finale kind of missed the point of the series. Jax was always the main character. The story was always going to be about him or her or whatever you want to call her now. Like, if you're mad at, if you wanted to be mad, if you're mad at the finale for being about the character that the show is about, you know, maybe you're delusional. Maybe you should have seen that coming. Let's look at this dog chat. Behold, the puppy. This dog is adorable. I'm so sorry for drowning it into everyone's minds. This is such a cute puppy. Aw. Aw, she's worth $80 flea medication. What a precious goober. Adorable. Precious. Thank you for showing that to me. Thoughts on Deltarune? I like it, but I don't think it's quite as good as Undertale. I think, I know that the point of it is that your choices don't have, actions. Not actions. Your choices don't have consequences, but I just think that's kind of lame. I just don't find that as compelling of a concept as Undertale, where every action had a consequence. I also kind of think it's, overall more boring than the original was. Like, Deltarune definitely has its good parts, but I just don't feel quite as compelled going through the majority of it. I think that actually playing it is a bit of a slog in some areas. I don't know. So, because Adam is a straight male, I can't design him the same way that I would design like a gay male prostitute. Thank you, Adrian, with the 5. So I need to make him cool, sexy instead of man. You have a lot of skin showing, sexy. Thank you, AJ. I heard it's amazing, but I'm too scared to get into Deltarune because Undertale was my world for so long as a kid. Don't let that stop you. I think it is a good idea to experience Deltarune. Like, just play through the first chapter. If you like the first chapter, it's something you'll enjoy. I wouldn't keep going. I really liked the first chapter of Deltarune. I thought it was great. I especially loved Lancer. I didn't like the second chapter quite as much, and the third chapter I found very boring. Like, everybody was really hyped about Tenna, so I was expecting him to be interesting, and I just don't find him to be very interesting. He kind of feels like a cardboard cutout. A cardboard cutout of what, like, a wacky Tumblr sexy man would be. I just don't think he's that good. I think the reason why Undertale was better than Deltarune, at least in my opinion, I think it's because Undertale was made as a singular experience, so it feels more streamlined. Like, they made it and then they cut out all of the extra fluff that really didn't need to be there and wasn't funny and wasn't fun to play. So it was just one streamlined experience, whereas Deltarune is simultaneously multiple things, but also trying to be one big overarching story, which I think hurts it. I think because Deltarune is a much longer game, I think it has more room to add in fluff that isn't really all that good, and that the game would have been better without. I think the common sentiment, especially among fans of media just in general, is that when they like something, they want it to be longer. And personally, I'm of the opinion that good things usually come in small packages. I think it's actually better for things to be shorter. Because when things are shorter, you have to make better use of your time. It forces the writer to be smarter with the way that you do things. It's nice to see a content creator using the same art program as me. Makes me believe that I can improve at my own art. I love Ibis Paint. I think it's great. I use it mostly free. I do have a couple of the paid features because I bought it before they included the subscription model on desktop. And yeah, it does everything that I needed to do. I see no reason to upgrade to anything else. Thank you for the 5. Oh, and we hit the goal. I need to set a new goal. You have earned another goal. I can't believe I didn't give you the goal that you earned. What's wrong with me? I'm horrible. Bad streamer. Okay, gotta give him those beautiful thighs of thunder. How would you write the agents? That is a good question. So obviously, those two are going to be human, and probably going to be the only human characters I actually write in advance before I start going through the actual story. I was planning on making them a priest and a nun. I think that could be interesting. And my other idea is a priest and like a doctor, one of those ones with the plague masks. Yeah, one of these guys. The hat. And they're all silly and cute. Yeah, one of those ones. And then the priest, there's a little cross. But I know regardless of what I do, I need to go back and I need to redesign Cletus, because goodness gracious, this guy is not canon at all and needs desperately to be fixed, because he could be such an interesting character and I want him back so bad. I was thinking what I would do with Cletus now that we've got this set in medieval times. I was planning on turning him into a friar. So what a friar is a friar was a member of the church. Would you call him a member of the clergy? I'm not sure. I'm not Catholic. But yeah, they were like a church-related person, and their job was to be broke. And they would go out, and they would, they would go spreading the gospel and being broke, because the church would collect tithing, and they would have so much money, and then people would get angry because the church had so much money, and they felt like they were all struggling. So the friar was a position that came as a result of that to make themselves look better. But I think friars are legitimately like good positions. I think that would be a good thing. Because Cletus' whole thing is he's been kicked out of heaven, right? So I think making him like a friar, he's now dependent on the kindness of other people to go about the world, like getting a bit of suffering in as his punishment, so that he can come back after like a few hundred years, I guess. I think that would work. I think that would be good. Plus, like a friar, a priest, and either a plague doctor or a nun. That would be cool. I think the plague doctor would probably be better than a nun. It would be kind of, it could be potentially inappropriate for a woman to be traveling with a man she's not married to. And I don't think nuns were allowed to get married. I don't think priests are allowed to get married either. But again, I don't know. I'm not Catholic. I would need to look it up. What do we get for the goal? You get another goal. Can we ask questions about episode 2? Yeah, go for it. There we go. No, we didn't. Please. Come on. Yay! We did it. We did the line. Catholic here, no priests and nuns cannot get married. Whack. I think that's whack. I mean, I guess if that's what they want to do, I don't see why they should be prevented from marrying. I just think it's a, kind of shame that they think that, pledging yourself to God means that you can't go out and get married. Will Clyde be in episode 2? Yes, Clyde is in episode 2. I'm sorry, I don't choose the rules. No, don't worry. I don't blame you. Episode 2 related question. The holy man at the beginning seemed rather racist, yet still held a priest key. Are holders in your verse allowed to be flawed, or is there a cutoff point? Yes, they are allowed to be. They are allowed to be flawed, but that priest actually was not. That was not Mormon. That was not a Mormon priest. Neither was he holding proper priesthood keys. I decided to make up a church because I didn't want to like point fingers at anyone specifically, because bigotry within Christianity it's kind of everywhere, isn't it? So I made up a specific for for my universe, and I've decided to name it the Church of the Stars. Because I think the stars are an underrated piece of symbolism that keeps popping up in Christianity. If only you look out for it. Thank you, Adrian, with another 2. I love eating red onions. Red onions are great. Where did the idea of Clyde come from? Was he just thought it was a joke? Okay, so where Clyde came from was originally I was going to have Charlotte and Vaggie come stumbling across like the real KKK, but then I thought about it and I was like, you know what would be even funnier than the Ku Klux Klan, like an entire church of the Ku Klux Klan just sitting out, just out and about in hell. You know what would be funnier? Some poor guy, some poor black guy that looks like the Klan now. That's where that came from. It's just like taking a joke that was already serviceable on its own and then just making it funnier. Which design is your favorite? Right now, I'm thinking about Beelzebub. I really liked drawing her. I don't know if you all of you saw, but I did make a little animation of her recently, and I think she's very pretty. I think she turned out way prettier than how I initially drew her in the concept art. I think I finally got to do her design some justice. Hoof. Little foot. Teeny tiny. He's not stepping on any bitches. The bitches are stepping on him. Clyde is still the MVP. Yes, I agree. I love Clyde. I wish I got more chances to draw him because I love him. He's great. Is there anything in Undertale, the world building, magic system, or storyline that you don't like? Not that I can think of. It has been a long time since I've played Undertale, so maybe there is something that I would have an issue with looking back on it now. But I would need to delete another game to make space for Undertale and then find a chance to actually play Undertale. It would be really fun to play on stream, but as we've demonstrated today, my computer can't run anything and stream at the same time, which is a shame because I would love to be able to record my gameplay so I can like look back on it later and have like a sort of diary of things that I've done. Like I think my favorite thing about streaming is whenever I get a chance to stream with my friends. Like I remember streaming with Ducky a few times. And every now and then I would think like, man, someday my friend is going to be dead. And these streams might be some of the only footage that I would have left to remember her with. Which I guess is a profoundly sad, depressing thought, but the idea that the only thing I'd have left of my friend is some bad lethal company gameplay footage with her, but it's also kind of comforting in a way. I love my friend, and I like having little bits and pieces of her stashed away. It's the kind of stuff you end up appreciating. Yeah. And I'm really grateful that I was able to pull on so many people that I loved onto a well that I loved as if they've passed away. They haven't. Everyone's fine. But so many people that I love onto my projects so that I can keep little bits and pieces of them stuck away. As a for example, the hermit is actually my little sister, and I was able to get her to animate several portions of the first scenes of the episodes. So now I have little special pieces of her. If ever anything happens to her, I'll have something very special that would be both very difficult to watch whenever that time comes, but I would still like them. Thank you, Toondrake, for the 5. That's why you gotta cherish the time you have with your loved ones. Yes, yes, indeedy. Adam's outfit kind of reminds me of B&B Lucifer's smug Yu-Gi-Oh outfit. You know, you were not wrong. I wanted to I did legit take some inspiration from that outfit because I think that outfit is cool. I think that Lucifer looks stupid when he's wearing it, so I wanted to take it and do it justice. Lucifer does not deserve the drip. He looks stupid in it. He just looks kind of cringe, in all honesty, because he looks like a little old, wrinkly little raisin that touches animals bad. Is Adam still the first man, or is that Angel now? Adam is still the first man, yes. You know, it was the most awkward thing a little while ago when I first put up that sale. I made a sale a couple weeks in advance of episode 2 dropping called the you find out what he did sale, where we were selling Lucifer merch before, because I wanted to get in some money before people stopped being able to buy merchandise of him because he touches animals bad. So I was really proud of myself. Like, yeah, I'm getting money. So I was reporting that at a family scripture study. We do family scripture study every night, and we always tell each other a little bit about our day before we start. So I was, yeah, I've done this new business venture. I started a sale before you find out what he did sale. And then somebody asked me, oh, well, what did he do? and, and I was so embarrassed because then I had to say what he did. It's like, oh, I wrote a character that touched an animal pet. It was the most embarrassing thing. I know that you don't write it because of backlash, but just wondering what's some of your ideas from Owl House AOB? Well, I would need to rewatch Owl House all the way through to figure out what I would do and what I would change, what I would keep. And I did start watching Owl House to do just that, and then I realized I hate this and I don't want to watch it, so I stopped. And you know what? My life got better after that. You know what? I think one of the major reasons why I hated the Ninth Guinevere so much is because I was so excited for it. Because I knew that Dana Terrace was a very talented writer, and I thought she was a talented writer. And I was certain that given the right resources and the right enough freedom that she could make something absolutely fantastic. And I had deluded myself into thinking that the only reason why the Owl House was bad is because Disney forced it to be a kids movie and then shortened the length. I was certain that once she was making something for like adults, that it would be good. That she would finally be allowed to spread her wings, and then I watched the show and I was like, oh, the Quirk Chungus childishness is just how she writes. That is just her. And I felt betrayed. I felt lied to. Like, not just by her, even though I don't know this lady and she never could have lied to me if she tried. But yeah, I felt betrayed by the community, by everything I had built her up to be in my head, and I was severely disappointed that someone that has so many good ideas and so many resources could make something that just amounts to Tumblr Quick Chungus. The worst parts of her writing are always the main characters. They're just so aggravating to listen. And, I was sad. And, I was promised an adult show. It was not a show for adults. It was a show made for teenagers. And I just, it wasn't for me. And I got really angry and disappointed about that. More emotional than I ever should have been. But, sometimes that's just how it goes. One good thing though about that experience. Whoa! Thank you, Adrian Destroyer, with the 10. There's a lot of the balloons. I assume the other animals Lucifer touched to make the other sins were sentient to some degree, based off of Charlotte's reaction. I still hold that belief. But say Envy's mom, was she a person? Yeah, so all of the others were made from like monsters or other demons or deities, something like that. Charlotte was the only one that came from what was classified at the time to be an animal. Yeah, because it's difficult to tell like what is sentient and what is not until you talk to it. The classification systems of hell are often subject to change. Like we wouldn't all of a sudden start categorizing chimpanzees as like a sapient, well, sentient beings on the same level as humans. If they started speaking sign language and started talking to us and putting up data centers, we wouldn't do that. We would still classify them as animals. But demons, since demons all look so strange, they rely entirely on classifications of largely arbitrary rules to decide what counts as a person and what doesn't. So I was hoping, what I'm hoping to do to establish in later episodes, I'm hoping to muddy the waters a bit, make it kind of gray as to whether or not this creature that Lucifer was with had the ability to consent. I just think that would be like, well, maybe not exactly fun. I just think it would be interesting to see what kind of discussion sparks about that, where neither interpretation is really wrong. I don't really want to like pick a side on anything. Like the morality of my characters. I don't want to pick a side on the morality of my characters too often, except for in very specific circumstances. So I would like it if I could just present facts to you guys and let you make up your own minds about what you think is right and what you think is wrong. Since Charlotte ages, were the other sins born fully mature, or did they develop from baby to adult like Charlotte, but ceased aging when they fully matured? The second one, yeah. They everything's born as a baby, and then it becomes an adult later. With the other sins, they stop aging at the like the human age equivalent of 25 when brain development is done. That's when they stop aging. But Charlotte is now, I believe 37. If she were human. This is not a good setup for a hand. Why do you look so short? You look short. You should be bigger, I think. Would Lucifer crack a sentient worm to make another dragon sin if possible, or no? No, I don't think he would do that again. I think he regrets his decision. Wasn't Envy's mom a worm thing? Yes, her mother was Charybdis, from Greek mythology. the big thing, the big sea monster that makes whirlpools. The way that she looks like a bobbit worm, a really, really big purple bobbit worm. What am I drawing? I am drawing the swap AU that I've been working on, the Has-Been swap AU. I have switched Adam and Angel Dust, so I'm trying to make Adam look more like a whore than usual. And I guess Angel Dust will look less like a whore, but he still needs a little bit of whorishness. I think that's too inextricably tied to his personality to still feel like him without it. Do you think the Sin's moms ever got together and formed a group called the Mobsters? No, I don't think they did. Lucifer, regret in the same sentence? Yeah, Lucifer I think is a very interesting character as far as demons go, because I don't know if I would actually classify him as one-dimensionally evil, at least not anymore. Like, well, even if he is one-dimensionally evil, whatever you decide where he is on the morality scale, he's still got, like, a personality. He isn't a total sociopath deranged of all emotion, like Charlotte is, or like Charlotte was. Lucifer, I think, is more like BoJack Horseman. Granted, I haven't seen BoJack Horseman, but I know that BoJack Horseman is a character that does bad things and then feels bad about it and then does it again. Lucifer is like that. He does bad things, he feels bad about it, and then he keeps on doing. Whoa, Mercer with the 20. Thank you, Mercer. How's everyone? That's not what it says at all. Hello, everyone. How is it going? Can't stay long. Have to sleep. Last load before I go see my dad for his birthday. Oh, happy birthday to your dad. Turns 51 next week. Oh, that's a big number. How old is my dad? I wonder when my dad turns 50. It should be sometime soonish. I'm not sure. Yeah, hope you guys have fun. Thank you so much for the money. Goodness gracious. Snotty today. I don't know why it's been like that. I don't know why I've been so snotty. I feel like I've been like that ever since I moved in. I wonder if maybe I have a slight allergy to cats. That could be it. Because my aunt does have several cats. And honestly, I don't know what else it could be. I don't know. There must be something in this house I'm allergic to. It's not very bad. Just a teensy bit annoying. I really only notice it when I'm on stream. And I have to like move my mic away from my face so that I could sniffle a little bit. What's the background music? We are listening to the Hollow Knight soundtrack right now. With a little bit of like a water ambiance added in, I'm pretty sure. I usually sleep to this video. Either this one or there's this YouTuber called Drift Away that makes like 8-hour long videos. That's the Minecraft soundtrack looped with ambiance and a cute little gif over it. I usually sleep to those two because they're not monetized, so I don't have to put my ad blocker on. So what was I saying? Right, yes, I was talking about Lucifer. So yeah, Lucifer has the full spectrum of emotions, like a regular human would. It's the only demon in the entire cast of Has-Been Hotel or Helluva Boss, the only like demon that can feel love, real love, selfless love. He's the only one. Which is really ironic. And because he's the only one that can love, he's the only one that can truly regret, too. He's the only one that could ever grow or change. Do you have any personal story projects you've been okay sharing? Yes, I do, actually. There is a horror movie that I've been really, really wanting. Holy crap! Mercer with $100! Oh my goodness gracious, that's so much money! One last gift for the road. Have a good stream. Another great background musician I remember is Adrian von Zelger. Look him up if you need background music for anything. Thank you so much. We have hit the goal. It is time for another goal. Thank you so much. That's super generous. Are Mammon and Leviathan both worms? Yes they are. So Lucifer only goes uh, for worms and things that like look dragon-like most of the time. I think I should probably actually give Ball a bit of a redesign to make him a little bit more dragon-like as well, so that he fits in with the usual type. And you know, the thing about worms is they look a lot like snakes. So worms are definitely on the table. And you know what? I just love drawing worms. I don't know why, but I love drawing worms. I love drawing snakes, but I love drawing worms better than drawing snakes because they don't have heads that are difficult to draw. So it's been a bit of a coincidence that so many worms have come out of my artwork. I don't know, I just a sucker for a good worm. Who's Ozzy's mom? Ozzy's mother. Wow, I said that completely wrong. Ozzy's mother is the whore of Babylon. You mentioned in the past that Husker's pale face is because of his deal with Alistair. Does this mean his fur is completely devoid of white apart from the face? Yeah, I think mostly. He might have like some gray tufts in his fur, but I would need to double check his design sheet. Not double check, but I need to redo his sheet a little bit. I've been very slowly working through very slowly been working on turnaround sheets for all of the characters so that they're a little easier for my artists to draw. Eventually I will get to Husk, and hopefully we'll be able to see those pretty little hairs of his. It's something I really want to make someday. I really want to make a video going through the designs, the human designs for all of my center characters. I just really wanna, I just really wanna draw all my pretty boys and gals. The only issue with it is that there's so many of them, and I don't know if I would have a ton to say about each one that I haven't already said in previous videos. So I think of that video, although it would be really fun to make from an art perspective, I'm not sure how viable it would be from a perspective. I don't know. I guess I managed to get a whole video out on Angel's like turnaround, but I would imagine it would probably just be me restating a bunch of opinions and things that I've said in the past, so it probably wouldn't be a very good video. But you know, it's been so many years that it actually probably wouldn't be that bad. Coming out like directly after their redesign would probably be pretty lame, especially for a returning audience. But you know, it might be worth it. I think Vox's human design is my favorite out of all the human designs so far. Because he's the one that I've actually drawn. I mean, I've drawn a couple of the others, but I just don't think they look quite as cool as Vox. Would he crack Vaporeon? No, I don't think Lucifer would touch a Vaporeon. Stupid question, but worm or worm? Probably worm, but my brain is scrambled. Yes, worm with a Y, not with an O. I say them the same way, so I can totally understand why it's difficult to figure out which one I'm talking about in any given moment. I remember there was there was this one comment on episode 2 that was one of my favorite comments. It was this person said, "No way, he cracked a worm with this little needle." Complete oral loss. I wish I had a screenshot of it that I could like pull for you because it's such a good comment. I love that comment. So good. But yeah, because of that comment I realized, oh, some people think I'm saying worm as in like a worm that goes in the ground. They don't know. They don't know. And then I added my pinned comment after that to help people from being confused. Worms are limbless dragons with only wings, right? Mostly, I decided to give them arms and legs for my version, but they do not actually have arms and legs in the present day, like they did back in the past. So they evolved limbs and then they lost them again. L. Oh, what if Lucifer had a child with one of those sandworms from that one movie? Sort of. He kind of already did. Mammon's mother was a Mongolian deathworm. That's as close to the Dune monsters as you're gonna get. And that means that by technicality, Charlotte is the only one of her siblings that's like white. All the way white. I guess. What color are Romans? I guess Romans would also be white, wouldn't they? Yeah. I take it back. Behemoth would also be white. But she would have a tan because she goes outside, and Charlotte doesn't, so Charlotte still remains the only white sibling. AJ, we have an important question with Lucifer Crab. Don't put it on a shirt. Thank you, Knight of Snails with the 20. Does Lucifer have any children that aren't Charlotte who dislike him to the point that join heaven instead? No, he only has the 7. I'm sorry. I was reading the super chat. I got it in the corner of my eye. Oh man, the speed paint for this video when I make it, it's gonna be interesting. To say the least. Oh, it's good stuff. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Good stuff. Is he done? Is he done? I guess there's only one question left to answer. Does he have mesh on? Does he have a shirt on? Or are his tibbies out? Chat, what do we think? I guess regardless, he should probably have some floof in the chest. Because he switched with this mofo whose tibbies are sort of out. So he's gotta have the chest poofies. You gotta make him look soft and petable. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. The deepest V-neck? No, that would look bad. I don't support that. Okay. I see 2 votes for Mesh, 3 votes for Mesh, and then 2 votes for Tibbies. I think that means Mesh. Hang on, let me go to a new layer and we'll put in this Mesh and we'll see which one we like better. That's too much. That's too much Mesh. Let's go just a little bit of Mesh at a time. Yeah, that's better. More decently spaced. Mesh. This looks like the most uncomfortable thing, though. This would be so itchy. Lilith makes him wear it. Dead air. I haven't said anything for too long. What type is Lucifer again? Like neutral, good, chaotic, evil, like that? I don't know. I'd rather keep it vague. Wait, it just clicked. Is this the swap AU again? Yes, it is. Okay, so here's the mesh option. I don't think I'm in love with it. I don't think I like the way I did this. Away it goes. Let's see, I have another idea. We'll have that fluff poking through regardless. So here is idea number 2. No. Idea number 2. That looks awful. No. No! Oh, I'm sure there's a better mesh brush around here somewhere. Let's see. Rip smash? That's possible. Chainmail, and every time he takes it off, it rips his fur. Thank you, Adrian, with the 2. Put his tits out, Adrian. That's okay. So I've been paid. We'll make an option and we'll vote on it. How about that? What was I doing? There's a search option. Let me just. I'm sure I can search up mesh. No. Did I spell it wrong? I don't know. So it's called a net, right? Net? Okay, here's a different one. Maybe this will work better. It's an improvement. I still don't know if I like that though. Maybe if I make it a little bigger so we've got better gaps. No. Looks like Chex Mix. This is worse than last time. Yeah, this is worse. It's worse. No. No. Oh, here are the other ones. Perfect. Whoa. No. Bigger. Decent. decent. I think I like that actually. I think that looks just fine. Okay, so we've got our mesh option. Now we'll draw Tibby's option. So personally, for me, whenever I draw Adam's Tibby's out, regardless of which version I'm doing, I always like to give him like the trans scars because you know he got his rib removed in order to make Eve, right? So he had the woman literally ripped out of him. So I always like putting him there. Both of them, not just one rib scar, both of them. That is my personal headcanon. Oh boy, we're glitching. That's not good. Oh well. Oh my, we are lagging. I wonder why. I wonder if it's just my stream or if it's not my stream. I think the stream is looking fine. I think it's just like actually Ibis Paint. It's glitching a little bit. Oh. Come on. Open back up, please. No, no, no. Go back. No, this is not what I wanted. To go back. Have you watched Obsession? No, I haven't, nor do I think I will. I don't think I'm that interested. Okay, so with the... It's like they would probably cover from here. We'll just give them a little line for the abs. The abs that I don't want to draw. Or we could put more fluff. Too fluffy to see abs. So that looks that looks like a porcupine. I think we're gonna get rid of that line, and I think we'll do both. These little guys poking out. Yeah. Belly piercing is goated? No. Yeah, I find belly piercings deeply unsexy. Because my mother told me once she had a roommate who had a belly button piercing, and that thing would get infected all the time. And that sounds really gross to me. I think he's done. I think his legs are just a little short. So I'm gonna fix those. Let's lengthen these bad boys out so he can get some stepping in. Gotta get his steps. That's better. Okay. I think I can be happy now. Yeah, we'll give this boy a quick gray wash, and then we'll head on to dust. Once I fix this, I mean. Oh, the leg, the leg, the leg! Oh. He's giving Manticore? He is a Manticore, perfect. What are your thoughts on the Owl House? I don't like it. I think it's a show for babies. I think it's definitely got like some good elements, but even the good elements are kind of not done. Like the world building. I think the world building is majority fine, but when you like really start thinking about it, once the story is done, you kind of realize this has a lot of problems. Like, for example, the magic system. I think the magic system is really cool, and I really liked it, especially when I was watching the show. But then I really thought about it, and then I was like, what do you mean there's only four or five little sigils? And two of them are for water. Like, one is for water, and the other one is for ice. What about fire? I mean, they can make fire, but I think it would make more sense if there was, like, a fire sigil. Because when there's only four, that means there's only 16 possible combinations, you know? You can only combine four of them max. And then after that, it just kind of gets ridiculous. Like, that one spell that Mr. Racism was doing, yeah? This guy with the beard who was actually this guy with the dumb looking horns that looked like Hollow Knight but bad. Yeah, this guy. When he was making his little sigil thing that was like, was it trying to connect with the collector or something? It was just a bunch of the sigils over and over again in ways that like didn't seem like they would do what it would make sense for it to do, you know? Why do we only have four sigils to work? I don't see it. I don't like it. Which is too bad because it visually looks fantastic. I just wish there was more. I also thought them going to magic school was stupid. Like, I signed up. I initially got interested in the show because Luz was gonna train with the Owl Lady, and then the Owl Lady doesn't really train her at all. She trains her like once or twice, like throughout the entire first season. And then they discover a bunch of the sigils like off screen. Like, what do you mean? Why did we discover so many of the sigils off screen in a time skip? We couldn't have like this could have been episodes that I much would have rather watch rather than the dumb like sleepover moon thing. I thought that was dumb. Or like wasting so much time on Luz getting into magic school when like you have a teacher right there. Can we just learn from the teacher instead? It was quite frustrating. There was a fire glyph in the show? Was there? I don't remember. But I remember there was at least one that was lacking of the four major elements. Maybe it was Earth. I think ice was a waste. It's frozen water. Yes. Yeah, I believe ice was in place of something else that really should have been there. But now it's been so long since I've seen the show, and I really don't want to rewatch it that I can't remember what it is. Okay. Let's give this boy his gray watch. He's been waiting for too long. I gotta be honest, I'm not really very proud of this drawing. I mean, it looks serviceable, it's fine for what I need it to do, but I just don't think it looks very good. But I guess that's most of my character pages, I guess. They never really look that good as when the characters are actually in context. Like, I was kind of astounded how good my art was when I actually got to draw Charlotte in context on a sheet. Because when she's actually in context, when she's on a background, when she's fully shaded, when she's got like different shots and lighting, I think her design actually looks really good. But on just a regular character page, I think she looks super lame. And I think that's kind of how all my designs are. I think that's kind of how all designs are just in general. I think when you're just looking at a design, even Vivdy's designs, like just out of context, they look not very good.
But when they're actually in the show, I think they look just great. AJ Google Rum Tongue Tugger? Why? I know what Rum Tongue Tugger is. Oh, maybe we could have gotten more if Disney hadn't canceled it. Yeah, right. Stop kidding yourself. That's just not true. They were in the human world for the last season when they decided to cancel it. We would not have gotten anything more from that show. That wasn't just wasting time in the human world for a long time. The final season of that show was going to be bad. And you know what? They could have gotten more episodes. If Dana Terrace had decided to sacrifice a little bit, if she had decided to just hold off on putting Amity and Luz together for a couple seasons, it would have been fine. We would have gotten more episodes. But she could have still had her gay stuff if she had just waited. If she had just had some patience. But she didn't. She wanted it now. She wanted it immediately. She couldn't wait. She had to do it. And you know what we got? We got a relationship that wasn't even very interesting. I thought Amity and Luz were really boring together. Honestly, I don't think it made sense for them to get together in the first place. I think that Luz had a lot more chemistry with Willow. I think that she and Amity had no screen chemistry, and once she and Amity got together, Amity kind of lost the majority of her personality and kind of became just Luz's girlfriend. Luz's girlfriend and mommy issues, but the rest of her personality disappeared overnight. Like her being a jerk to Willow, like she still underestimated her, but she didn't have that same mean streak that she was introduced with, where she was like, instead of just like ghosting Willow, she was actively being mean to her. And then that just kind of disappeared, and I thought that was lame. Honestly, I think Amity was a useless character who shouldn't have been in the show. She didn't really have much to do that was actually interesting. I can't remember anything that significant she ever did. Except for like going to go get Titan blood once, and then that went bad, and she lost the Titan blood they already had, so the show would have been better off without her, I think, is my opinion. Because she doesn't even fulfill the bully role very well, because that girl with the pink hair was also there. To me, Owl House was basically Harry Potter with a Disney brand. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too. I didn't like Harry Potter. So I guess to people who like Harry Potter, maybe that's what they would like, but I didn't like Harry Potter. I didn't like it before J.K. Rowling decided to go say a few weird things on Twitter. Honestly, I think her saying weird things on Twitter is a drama that gets massively overblown. Like, it's really not that big a deal. Like, we would make less about like a man like actually sexually assaulting a child than we do about J.K. Rowling saying a few things that hurt people's feelings. I don't think it was that big a deal. I just think Harry Potter was always a poorly written book. I just don't think it was that good. I think Harry was a boring character who was maybe not entirely boring. I thought he was great in the first book. I thought the first like 3 books were good, and then after that, like I kind of like lost the magic, I guess. I stopped reading around book 6 because I just got bored. Which was a shame. I think I really only enjoyed reading them because I was spending time with my mother. My mother read me a lot of the books with me and my brother, but we got like lost, we weren't together anymore. And then after that, I realized, man, I'm just not interested enough in the story to keep going on my own. I do miss it when my mom would read us books, though. Because my mom is actually a very talented voice actress. She never had any voice acting roles. She's never done it professionally. She's never even done it as a hobby. But when she would read us stories, she would make voices for the characters, and she was really darn good at it. And I think that's where my love of voice acting came from. Because I love voicing characters too. I love acting, and I think I got some of that talent from my mom. Anything Amity did could have been done by her siblings. Yeah, I agree. I think her siblings were better. And I think the reason why her siblings were better is because they didn't overstay their welcome. They fulfilled their purpose and then they were out. I hated that the children had to pick tracks. What if they want to join a different coven in the future? Yeah, exactly. The whole coven system enforced during school time is kind of stupid. Like, I get it. Like, they want to enforce covens eventually, right? But wouldn't it make sense to like go into like general studies or something and get a taste for each track so you can figure out which one you actually want to go into? I think that would prevent more people from to turn to wild magic because they'd feel like they've been pegged into a hole and never really figured out what they actually wanted to do. Would Grim Hollow Knight crack a mythical piece of legend? I don't know. That's not my character. Harry Potter is oversaturated to me. I mean, it's pretty much everywhere. Well, I mean, that makes sense. It's one of the last few great... It's one of the last franchises left. All of the other great ones have been... And like Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings... Other ones I can't remember at the moment, but most of the other great franchises have already been completely destroyed by Hollywood's I wish I had a different word for this, woke era. Harry Potter was the one who was Harry Potter was like Anne Frank hidden away in the attic. It was completely untouchable during the woke era because J.K. Rowling was in such controversy that you weren't allowed to touch it. You weren't even allowed to like it, much less adapt it. So, because of that, it's the only one left to ruin. It's the only one left that's worth anything. And once it's gone, then maybe we'll finally get something new. Stranger Things, that was the one I was thinking of. Stranger Things was an IP that was also ruined. Although that one was ruined by incompetence rather than DEI, which I think was, a nice breath of fresh air. It's kind of lame seeing everything that you love get ruined in the exact same way over and over again. Thank you, Bread, with the Bread13 with the 5. If any of your characters have more casual outfit change, I would love to see Angel with a shirt that says Angle, like the math one. That would be kind of funny. Which character of yours is most likely to ride a merry-go-round, and who would they bring along with them? I think that would be Charlotte. She has a deep love of cute circus-themed childish things, and I think for certain she would bring Baggy. I think she'd be too embarrassed to invite Alistair. Otherwise, Alistair is probably the second option. Grim would fit perfectly into Hell. I even made him into a fictional species. I love Grim. Grim is great. Would Mammon celebrate Christmas because of the money spent to buy gifts, or would Lucifer cut that? Good question. Not at first. I think probably only when Santa Claus, the deity, came into existence would he start making Christmas a thing. And he probably wouldn't like merchandise it in his own ring, because they don't celebrate Christmas. He would probably like make an equivalent for his ring that celebrates him instead for those goblins to worship him and have a good time. But I think he would absolutely merchandise it for Pride, if he could. The Pride ring, I mean. Because, even atheists like to celebrate Christmas. Mammon dresses up as Santa to break into people's houses and steal their chips and cookies. Yeah. Yeah, and he pukes in there too, for good measure. Mammon would call it Xmas. Yeah, that's probably how they would get around it, they would replace it with X instead of Christ. A real Elon Musk style rebrand. Would you say any of your characters are artists? Yes, Lucifer. Lucifer for certain is an artist. Charlotte can also draw, but only a little bit. She's not particularly good at it.
And Lilith. Lilith is also an artist. She's also not she's not very technically accomplished, but she has a lot of fun doing it, and her art style is specifically like very cutesy and adorable. So the lack of like really like skill technique isn't an issue for her. That hand is awful. Ignore that. Alistair probably never got to go on one before. He may find it quaint. You know, I would have to ask my editor and co-writer if Alistair is allowed to go on the merry-go-round. Because I know there's a part of him who would probably say no. He would probably tell me no. I love Alistair, but I know that sometimes I mischaracterize my own characters, and I think Track is very good at keeping me at making sure that I don't do that too often. Like specifically with Alistair. Alistair is one that I just want to make him cute and silly and fun all the time, but you know I can't do it too much, otherwise he loses his personality and all his teeth. So whenever I have like a silly bit planned for Alistair, I have Track, my co-writer, there to make sure stay in and indulge myself too much in silly fun stuff. What would dorks be in your universe? I answered this a little bit earlier. It might have been in one of the other streams that happened today before everything changed when the Fire Nations attacked. But yeah, they're planned to be members of the church. Not members of the Mormon church, but like the church at the time. So I guess Catholics. Halloween. Which sins like to celebrate Halloween in your AU? Halloween is probably the most major holiday in hell because it's the one day of the year when people can like go escape. So during that time, a lot of people, or well, at least those that are in the know, will head up to Lucifer's castle to go see if they can find their names. And if they manage to find their names, they will be able to return to Earth as ghosts without bodies. Thank you, Knight of Snails, for the 2. What did the cast do for fun? That's a good question. So Angel Dust is a man with no hobbies because he's boring and lame and does drugs all day. Have you ever met like someone like that? Somebody who has no ambitions or hobbies, they just exist and are kind of sad and not really someone you want to talk to? He's like that. Cherry Bomb likes to go get in fights. Oh, thank you! I can't see your name. I'm just gonna call you Sai from now on. Thank you, Sai, for the 5. I need fan art of Lou, Lilith, and Charlie drawing together when Charlie was really little. Yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much for hitting the goal. You have earned another goal! And I think we're gonna set it for just one because I want to get out of here kind of soon. So Angel Dust, I already said him. Alistair likes to read. He reads and listens to music. Vaggie likes chickens. Truth be told, I actually haven't thought of a decent hobby for Vaggie. I've been too busy writing her doing other things to really give her something like that truly feels like a hobby. But I guess for Vaggie, she likes starting like little pet projects. I think is how I would say it. Like she doesn't have one specific thing that she always goes back to. She just keeps trying lots of different things. Thank you, Adrian, with the 1. You have hit the goal. You have earned another goal. Okay, so Angel, Alistair, Vaggie, who else? Charlotte, what does Charlotte do? I'll come back to Charlotte and thank you, Captain Arnark, for the 2. You have earned another goal. Oh, it didn't recognize it. It doesn't want to recognize that too.
I'm sorry. I guess we have not technically hit the goal. Let's see. Who else? Nifty. Nifty is a cinephile. She really likes to watch movies. She loves watching movies. That's the majority of what she spends her day doing. Husker is a bum. Thank you, Adrian, for the one. You have hit the goal. You have earned another goal. What would Husker do? Husker does like gambling related stuff, so probably like card games, other stuff related to that. He just gambles all day, every day, and drinks. Who am I missing? Am I missing anyone? I don't think I am, actually. I think that's everyone. Everyone but Charlotte. Charlotte needs a hobby. I don't know. It's hard to pick a hobby for a demon like Charlotte, somebody who's just so detached from being a human being. I don't know if she needs a hobby. Do you plan to do more scene draws with your redesigns? Probably not. I think I'm too busy for fun stuff like that. I would love it if other people could do it for me. That would be nice. Oh, D&D! Vaggie also really likes D&D. That is, we might actually have something planned for that eventually in the future. That's not even... That's not... That's close enough. There we go. Good night, Tyler. Sleep well. I grew up in a Native American community. Half of the people were sad and high on drugs. It reminds me of B&B Angel Dust. I'm sorry, that's really depressing. I remember once in social studies we were learning about Native American reservations, and I just thought the whole thing was really sad and kind of lame and dumb. Like, why am I learning about this? I don't know what you want me to do. It just felt like watching... A lot of social studies in school felt like just misery porn over and over again. Just a lot of... social studies and English class just felt like misery porn all day, every day. It was really lame. Like, I remember there was this book that I had to read for over the summer, actually, as a summer school project. It was called, I think it was called Prayers of the Stolen, and it was about this Mexican girl, and she was really poor, and she lived in this area with other Mexican girls that were really poor, and then the cartel would come and kidnap them, and they would get diddled and whatever. And I just hated reading that book, because, like, what exactly do you want me to do about it? Why are you telling me all this information and making me sad and ruining my day and ruining my summer over something that I have no power over? What do you want me to do? I'm 12. Do you want me to... No, I was 15 at the time. I'm 15. I'm a 15-year-old girl from America. Do you want me to go over to Mexico and just go, like, freaking sicko style and murder all the cartels? Because that's the only way that that's ever going to go down, is we need all of the cartel people to die. What exactly... Is that what you want me to go do? You want me to go over there with a gun and go risk my life and absolutely die and accomplish nothing? Okay. Alright, so there's nothing I can do about it? Why tell me about it? Why bother? I mean, I guess there's some people that like to know things about the world that, like, make them upset that they can't do anything about, but I am not one of those people. If it's something that I have no control about it, I'd rather not waste the emotion. I was your pinned comment on your Alistair redesign. Holy crap, you've been here that long? I forgot what pinned comment that was. Thank you. Holy crap, you scared me for a second, making me think that they made you read that at 12. They did not. I think what I did read at 12 was a book called The Glass Castle that I had to read, again, for another summer reading project. And that was also a book that had rape in it that made me very uncomfortable. And again, nothing I can do about it. It's not like we don't have the resources here in America that we could have dealt with the poverty that was explained in that book. It just didn't happen because the social worker that showed up for about 2 minutes didn't do his job very good. And I don't know. I don't care. The whole book was it was about this girl's extremely neglectful parents, and the whole thing just made me sad and angry. Because there was nothing I can do about it. It was a horrible story where nothing good really happened until the very end. You know, what do you want me to do? I don't really care that your parents were neglectful pieces of shit. I don't know you. What do you want me to do? What was the one about the depressing girl who looked up at the sky? I don't know that one, actually. Why would they make you read that? I don't know. I guess... I don't know what it was, but at my school, they just kept on making us read things that were about rape. My senior year of high school was the absolute worst. I had a teacher that I absolutely hated, who, to this day, I considered to be, like an actual diversity hire out in the wild, because he was so bad at his job. But every day, he would make us read something about how black women are being killed and raped every single day, and nobody cares. And that was my first class of the day, every single day for a year, and I hated it. And I tried to get out of it. I never wanted to take the class in the first place. I wanted to do my English online, but they made me take it anyway. My school counselor pressured my mom into making me do it, and I just hated it. It was awful. Yeah. Rape, abortion, murder, every day, every day. Thank you, Sai, for another 5. As sad as I think that's a point to make you feel bad for them so history doesn't repeat. Well, the thing is, I would love for history to not repeat itself, but there's really nothing I can do about it. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to learn about bad things that happen in the world that maybe you don't have any control over, but I don't know. That's just not something that I want to read about all day, every day. Night of Snails, thank you for the 5. Can I suggest you a show to watch called Hunter the Parenting? Yeah, I will write that down real quick. Put that on my list of things to do. Oh, by the way, you guys have hit the goal. You have earned another goal. Yeah, let me write that down. Oh, let me write that down. Okay. Hunter no parenting. Got it. I never read books like that because where I lived has heavy censorship. Well, trust me, you are not missing anything. Maybe that's kind of inconsiderate for me to say. I mean, I don't like censorship. I think censorship is bad. I think that people absolutely ought to be able to read books like that if they want to. I just think forcing some high school kid to read that during their summer vacation is kind of like a messed up thing to do. Or like during class. I don't want to read about how black women are getting their pussies like, just beaten through by rapey men. I don't want to read that. I don't want to read about some poor chick who got left in the hole. That's just not my idea of a good time. That's not my idea of something that I want to read. That's not going to get me interested in reading. And I don't really want to write a report about that every day. By some freaking guy who has a pride flag in his room and then doesn't grade my assignments for 3 months. I hate that guy. I still hate him. I will never not hate that guy. He didn't even grade my work correctly. He would never let me. Never once did I ever get, like, a B in that class on an assignment. Every time. Like, the quality of my writing was good enough that he couldn't give me bad grades, but he hated my opinions, so I could never get beyond a 70% on any paper that I wrote. Ever. Because I thought encouraging teenagers to go abort their babies was a bad idea. I don't know. And teenagers are so stupid that I feel like they're one of the only group of people that I think teaching in depth about abortion is a good way to make them think, oh, there are no consequences to my actions, and then they go and actually do the abortion and they find out, oh, this actually sucks. Because nobody actually wants to have an abortion. Not a single person. It's traumatizing to go have one.
I think it was a... God, I hated that class. Oh, are we still going on? What are we drawing? We are drawing the swap area today. Why do you bring up that he had a pride flag? Because he was really gay and I hated him. Now listen, guys. I think that he was a diversity. Like, okay, let me explain to you something about this guy. This guy was like stereotype. He was a stereotype of a diversity hire. It was just a little bit brown and very gay, extremely gay. And he was the type of person who absolutely would have sued the school if they decided to fire him for even the most valid of reasons. And I hated him for mostly because he was ignoring my legally required accommodations. I have a serious brain disorder, and I just needed him to stop giving me so much gosh dang busy work, because he would give me like 6 assignments a day, and I just could not do them all. I had other classes that were actually important, and one I actually ended up failing because I just had too much work to do, mostly from him. It was awful. And there was this other girl in my class, and she was also disabled. She had dyslexia, so she could not spell. And he kept on dropping like these pop quizzes that were like spelling assignments, right? He kept dropping them on the class, and are like one of her legally required accommodations is that she needed to be given the list of words beforehand so that she could memorize how to spell them. And he would not do that. He just kept insisting, oh, it's not that hard. You'll be fine. You're smart. He just did not understand disabilities at all. He was awful, and I hate him. I still hate him. I spent that entire semester just wishing something bad would happen to him. He never showed up for work either. He would give us all this work, and then he wouldn't grade anything until the very end of the quarter. And then you would go and check your grades at the end of the quarter and find out that you just had a bunch of zeros. Something else he would do, he would put in a bunch of zeros if he hadn't graded your assignments that you had already turned in. So you just are failing there for the entire semester until maybe at the very end. He also couldn't do math. Like, I remember there was this multiple choice quiz we did where like it was an even amount of questions. Like, there was no way to like get a half point off. And I still came away with a grade that had a half point off. What do you mean? That's not possible mathematically. He was the worst, and I wish so badly that he got fired, but he wouldn't have, because he was threatening the school. Like, despite so many complaints coming in, especially from disabled kids, but from other kids too, other normal kids. He was just an awful teacher. Yeah. I hope he's dead, wherever he is. Do you dislike DEI, or is this just an ableist chud? I dislike ableist chuds, but I also dislike DEI. I find it extremely insulting and pandering that people have decided that, oh, these minority groups, we're gonna make it easier for you to get jobs that you're not qualified for because you could never succeed on your own merits. I think that's extremely insulting. I think it's also like bad for the workforce. Like, women in STEM used to be highly respected because if you were a woman in STEM, it meant that you worked your fanny off to be there. But now, but after they added in DEI practices, now nobody takes women in STEM seriously anymore because they are not confident that their credentials were actually earned. And so DEI hurts women, it hurts minorities. It's bad. It's bad overall. Not only does it harm the quality of the work that gets put out, it also harms the way that minorities are seen in professional fields, because the other people will be wondering, are you actually good at your job, or were you just put in because you have certain things in between your legs or a certain skin color? I think that's lame. Bigotry of low expectations, exactly. That is exactly what DEI is. I think
I mean, I'm all for diversity, but I think DEI is a terrible idea. I think all it's done is make race tensions and gender war tensions worse. I don't think it's done a single good thing. I think we're finally starting to see it slow down a bit, at least in movies. I don't know about any other sector, but I think things are finally starting to look up a little bit. Of course, now they're replacing us with machines instead, so I guess everybody's out of a job now. AJ, do you like to believe in any conspiracies, like the American country planned to bomb their own country and move underground to restart slavery? No. I think the conspiracies that I believe are few and far between. And I think the only conspiracies I believe in are the ones that are only considered conspiracies because they can't be proven. But I guess most opinion would be is I think the government is evil. I think the entirety of the government is a bunch of child molesters, and I think we should gut it. No, I went too far. What's your favorite story? I believe that would be The Last Unicorn. I really like that one. That's a good movie. I understand this guy was a terrible teacher, but I'd like to know if you don't like queer people. What kind of question is that? Can you please tell me that you're not evil? Obviously I'm not evil. I myself am a little bit queer. Though I don't think I'm comfortable anymore saying in exactly what way. At least not publicly. I mean, I feel like you could probably take one look at my work and realize, yeah, this person probably isn't a bigot. Behold, my evidence! I remember I watched the Last Unicorn hated the wizard dude. That's bigotry. That guy's a Jew. You're not allowed to hate him. Can't believe you would say that. Oh my goodness, is it almost 10 o'clock? Holy crap. Thanks for saying so. I was generally worried for a sec. Don't be worried. I think for the majority of, I think the majority of the time those kinds of questions, hey, can you tell me that you're not a bigot, are usually pretty useless questions to ask, because I think most people, like, even if they are bigots, would generally answer, no, I'm not a bigot. I think it takes a very strange person to say, yes, I'm a bigot, and the person that's going to say, yes, I'm a bigot, is probably someone who's joking. So I think when you're looking for whether or not somebody is a bigot, it's best to look at their actual actions rather than the words that come out of their mouth. being a Jewish person watching your content is pretty funny. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I never realized how many Jews I make until I think of. Yeah, Jews are actually real people. It's just the word Jew is just such a funny word to me. I don't know what it is. It just has such a funny sound to it. I just think jokes about Jews are really funny. I think Jews about Jews about no, that's not what I meant to say. I think jokes about minorities in general are actually pretty fun, and I'm glad to see them coming back a little bit. Though some people definitely take it a little too far, and they're like actually mean about it, which I don't like. Obviously, a list of approved talking points, and people starts playing. But I think it's cool to joke about anything. I think anything can be joked about if you do it the right way. Um, but I probably am not going to be making quite as many jokes about black people as I do about Jews, because Jews are like white and olive, whereas black people are black, and I don't think I'm dark enough to make certain jokes. Thank you, Jack o' Lantern, for the 5. Jack's Lantern, my bad. Hey, just popping in for a bit. Can you draw Charlotte in a fancy dress? I'm sure I will eventually. Thank you for hitting the goal. You have earned another goal. Is that Valentino? No, it is not. What's funny about those jokes? Sometimes it depends on the person. I mean, humor is well, maybe not. Humor itself is not subjective, but what makes you laugh, absolutely. And personally, what makes me laugh? Bad jokes about minorities. I don't know. And have you seen Instagram? Depending on whether or not you find racism funny, Instagram is either a great place to go for good jokes, or it is a den of do not touch that. I wouldn't say I'm forbidden from making jokes about black people based on my skin color alone. I mean, Clyde, to this day, and forever, will be one of my best jokes. Clyde is a great joke. I love Clyde. I should probably tone it down with the amount of jokes about Jews that I make, though. I feel like I've made enough jokes where the joke is Jew, and that's the entire joke. Which I think it's funny a few times, but I need to come up with some better material. I think my joke about Mexicans earlier in the stream, I think that was underrated. I think that was a good joke. Since so many white people joke insert here, jokes have made like so much in the past 10 years, I feel like it's a little bit harder to make jokes like people based on the color of their skin specifically. And I would love to make some jokes about white people, keep everything, balanced and equal. I just can't seem to think of any that aren't just like, haha, white people. Which, I mean, I guess I do that with Jews, so. Man, what am I? A little bit of hypocrisy is human, I guess. Has Lucifer ever done a transphobia when making a sinner body? I'm certain he probably has. Nothing's off the table with Lucifer.
I guess I should make the devil a white man. I think everything equalizes after that. And it would be pretty messed up if I made all of the seven deadly and then the devil all minorities. That would be pretty. That would be bad. And then Charlotte being the only good one is white. Could you imagine if I did that? That would be so messed up. Are Greek people white? Do Greek people count as white people? Or are they all? What do we think, chat? I don't mean this in. What kind of question is that? I don't mean this like in a racist way. I mean like literally, what color are Greeks? Are they olive? They're olive toned, right? I think they're olive. Like olive and pale. Maybe a bit tan. I'm not sure. I guess Italians are white, and they don't speak English, but they still count as white. Goodness gracious, I'm such an American. Anything that doesn't speak like either English or just is brown in my mind, which isn't true. I need to not do that. Greeks are all of them white. Yeah, thank you. Your face is just straight. No. Sorry, we gotta give it just a little bit of curve. Why does it look so real? That looks not good. Sorry, I have to give you back the teeth. You're just so stupid without them. I want you to have more teeth. The teeth don't want to go in. There, now you have more teeth. There, now you've got a little bit Adam energy while still kind of looking like yourself. Yeah, there we go. Angel is Italian? Yeah, he's supposed to be. Both in canon and in my thing. Like his in my one, I didn't like how Angel's name was Anthony, even though he's supposed to be Italian. So I decided to name Antonio instead, so you can kind of figure it out. You know, racist people are so funny. They'll see a white person and go, "Yeah, that person is not white, and I should hate them because they were born not white." And then it's the most pale mofo you've ever met. I think the racism against Italians, like in the olden days, like that was wild. It's just so unnecessary. There were plenty of other people right there to hate. I'm just trying to think about it from their perspective, and I just can't. It just seems like such a waste of time. Other than Charlotte, does Lily have a good relationship with any of her other stepchildren? I don't know. I think they would. I think the majority of them would be cordial to her because she is their father's wife. Man, they made the only Italian guy for the mafia. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Who is Beelzebub's mother? Beelzebub's mother is actually a Baal, who is a man. So yeah, sorry to this person, but to harp on that question again, it just keeps coming back into my mind. To prove that I'm not a homophobe, Mpreg is canon to the universe. Also, business has lost out on money being racist. Yes, thank you for the 5, Sai. You've hit the goal. You have earned. You have not earned another goal. No. We'll have a new goal next stream. It's 10 o'clock and I'm losing my voice. I need to stop. Thank you. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I know the stream got off to a real rough start, but thank you everyone who sat through this from the very beginning and who stuck through after everything else fell through into something that actually worked. Next time when we stream, we'll do something. Probably this again. We'll probably be drawing again since that actually functions on my computer. Once again, thank you all again so much for watching, and